Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the show. It is Friday. What is better than Friday? Knowing the week is getting over to an end, we can have a good time heading into the weekend. Guys, let me get everything set up here. It is Friday, July 12th. Welcome back to the Brandon Mason Show. Everything organized here, man. What a morning it's been already. I don't know about you guys. If you got kids, having sleep is like good luck to you, right? Having kids doesn't work out that well. We're getting ready to get started because we're diving into the Dallas Cowboys. I got my coffee lined up yesterday. Went out there, had some nice dinner. Got my coffee here in my mug. My mom got me, as I always try to do. Where you go, I go. It's got a little bike here. I had this during the play-by-plays. Little bike here. It's hard to see on the camera. There's two seats. She said, wherever you go, I go, which I love that, and got rid of the Starbucks mug. Not hating on Starbucks coffee, just the mug was a problem, but we're back at it now again, having an excellent morning. It's Friday, which means we're going to get through today. We're going to have a good time. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Will they win a Super Bowl? Could they win it all? Is Dak Prescott one of those guys that can get it done? We're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about their needs this season. We're going to talk about impact players. We're going to talk about the schedule. We're going to dive into that because NFL is back. We're alive. Yesterday, another great conversation heading into agency, sponsorship deals, all kinds of stuff for the Brandon Mason Show and everyone that's a part of this coming in here bright in the morning. I greatly appreciate you guys. We're going to dive into that now. We have some amazing news coming to you and guests on the show, and I want to keep reiterating that so you guys know exactly what's going to start happening as we move forward, getting closer to the season. Players are coming back in town, ready to jump on here and have a good time. Good morning to everybody that's in here right now in the live stream that jumped in here at 9:55. That's what we need. But let's dive in right now because the first topic segment today, conversation, obviously Dallas Cowboys, the needs for the 2024 NFL season. What's going on? We're going to pull that schedule up. What do they really need? Who are they going up against? What is it going to take this season for the Dallas Cowboys to move forward, right? Like we see all these years how great they can be, how great they were, who their quarterback is. Oh, my God, they got this receiver. They got these defensive players. They got Jerry Jones is bringing another coach. All these things happen. And look, it's not just the Dallas Cowboys. It's every single team is making changes. But look, like I said, the Dallas Cowboys, hey, you had some players, you got some opportunities. Why aren't you winning the big game? We're going to talk about that. And right now, let's pull up the Dallas Cowboys schedule 2024. Starting off there with the Browns, going all the way across there, the Saints, the Ravens, the New York Giants, the Steelers, the Lions, the Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, the Falcons, the Eagles. And there we go. That Eagles game is going to be tough, right? Texans, Washington, New York, the Bengals, Panthers, Tampa Bay, Eagles, and then Washington again. What does this schedule look like for the Dallas Cowboys? Can they win it all? Can they get through majority of these teams? Can they have a winning record? We're not talking a 6-6. We're talking a 10-2. Can they operate like that? You look at those teams at the bottom there, starting off with the Browns, the Saints, the Ravens. The other Giants, get some W's there. Steelers, tuck game, Lions, Eagles, 49ers. I mean, these are some tough games that start to go in a row, but if you're in the chat right now, make sure you click up there and see what you guys think. I'm going to close out the polls today when we finish. And Pimple Mama, thank you. If you're in the chat right now, throw the dice in the chat, guys. Put the wheel in the chat. Put the flag in the chat. Do what you got to do. Show some love from the freaking Mason mob. I'm going to read some of those messages today. But listen, I forgot to close the poll out every single time. I don't know if you guys can even see right now on your screen what the percentage is, because are they going to win a Super Bowl? Is Dak going to win a Super Bowl? Yes or no? I can see it says 86%. Put a Y in the chat if you guys see the percentage at the top, or do you guys just see the poll? Because I can see the percentages. Is it that you guys cannot see it, and so I got to close it out? Yes or no? Can you see it? Put a Y in the chat if you can see it. Put N if you cannot. And good morning to you. We have some awesome guests that are going to be joining us, which is going to be awesome. I am freaking pumped about that. I can't give the names yet because we got to sign contracts or certain deals. We have people that are going to come in, and they're also going to be working on weekly deals. So we have players that are going to come on once a week, just like you saw with the Pat McCaff, Aaron Rodgers situation, where they're going to have their own day. We got a lot of cool stuff coming to this platform. I cannot wait to do that. And we had another agency yesterday that dove in and talked to us about some awesome opportunities to start bringing those people in, but also a sports betting application. We have an alcoholic beverage. We got all kind of stuff coming, sponsor deals to our platform, and you guys are a big part of that. So back to what we're discussing here with the Dallas Cowboys and their needs. Here's the problem that I see. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys year in and year out, they have a lot of talent. No doubt about it. You go back all the way I know how old you guys are all in the chat. If you go back to Troy Aikman era when they had Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, even like Jay Novacek and all these guys, right? They had such a good team, right? And they won some Super Bowls. And then you go, hey, when are we going to get back to that? Troy Aikman's up there as an announcer. He's like, hey, the Cowboys, America's team. When are they going to get back to that? And I just had that schedule up there. Who is in the way for the Dallas Cowboys to get to that path? Like, who is stopping them? And we're going to get to the NFC East. We're going to talk about that. We get to the end of the segment. Also, I think I actually have another picture in the schedule. Yeah, I do have that. But in the end of the day, who is holding the Dallas Cowboys back? They have everything. I mean, some people would say they don't have a quarterback. I'm not going to say they don't have a quarterback. The reason why is because he was on the MVP conversation. Anytime you're in the MVP conversation, we had a chance to touch on this a few days ago, but anytime you're in the MVP conversation, you're doing something right. Now, if you were in the top 50% of the NFL, I'm just saying that's an accolade, right? Like if your kid goes to the NFL and he's in the top 50% of the quarterbacks, you'd say, my damn kid's pretty good, right? So let's dive into this now. Now he's in MVP conversation. So you're like, I like Dak, I hate Dak, but if he's in the MVP conversation, you got to start going, okay, who's around him? Great receivers, awesome talent. I'm going to go into those impact players they brought in. Running backs, had Ezekiel Elliot, had Tony Pollard before. They're making moves, even the defense side of things right now. If you guys are in the chat right now, good morning to every single one of you. Throw the freaking dollar symbol in the chat. Throw the money bags in the chat. You guys are awesome. We are moving forward right now. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys and their schedule. Before we continue on that part, this is the question. Is Dak Prescott going to win a Super Bowl? Right? And why that's important is because is that going to be with the Dallas Cowboys or is that going to be somewhere else? That's the reality of it. Is Dak Prescott going to win a Super Bowl? Because he's on a big-time contract, and anytime you got that big-time contract with big-time money, it's put up or shut up. If he got $40 million, $50 million, people say, oh, Dak Prescott, man, he's balling out $40, $50 million. When you get to the $100 million mark, $120, $140, $160 million, and you're getting that big-time money, good for him. Glad for him, not knocking that, but now it's time to win games, right? And he's doing that. He's winning games, and I've been saying this. I want him to come on the show. I'm going to talk to him about that. We got some contacts with Dak Prescott. We're going to try to bring him on. But the question is, what is holding them back? What is stopping this guy from putting a ring on there and letting those guys, parade around the field, AT&T Stadium? I got the pictures of that. What is holding them back from getting to that position? Because they got to the playoffs last season. People were excited about them getting to the playoffs and what's going to happen. Then they got beat by the Packers, right? And you're like, okay, rookie quarterback, not going to be able to do anything. Bang, beat by the Packers. People are like, that sucked. You literally just got a chance to get out there. Dak Prescott out there warming up. You see, here's a picture here. I just pulled up on the screen, little split version here of him practicing out there, getting it done, getting the guys excited. He has morale. He is a team leader, right? He is a team leader. And good morning to you guys. I see you guys in the chat. I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to say everybody in this damn chat right now as we move forward and keep on building and going for the play-by-plays. I'm excited to have you guys a part of our program right now. But Dak Prescott, the guy's out there doing what he's got to do to be successful. He's not getting in trouble. He's doing a lot of good things. What is stopping them? I mean, realistically, when I look at everybody they have on their roster, we're going to get to the impact players. He's got everything. I mean, across the board, would you say the offensive line is the greatest in the NFL? No, but look, other teams are doing it without that. I mean, he has offensive line. He has a tight end we're going to get to in a second, but why it's so important in the National Football League to have a great tight end to step up and make plays. He had a great running back. At one point, he had Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield making plays, right? And then Ezekiel Elliott was gone. Elliott's back on the roster. So you got that back. You got Ceedee Lamb. You have a great defense, Mikah Parsons. You got freaking Stephon Diggs. We're going to go into that too. And I just don't know what else, the coaching, Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, we're going to that. What is holding them back? Will Dak Prescott win a Super Bowl? If he does, will it be with the Dallas Cowboys? Right? It's like, if he does, he goes somewhere else next season. If he doesn't get this extended contract, which we're going to get to as well today about his contract, where will he go? Will he win there? Right? Like, that's the biggest thing. And all the Cowboys fans that pop in here, there's a lot of Cowboys fans out there, lots of them. And they'll tell you every day. Some of them love Dak, some of them hate Dak, but they think this is the season. That's why the topic and thumbnail of the thing today in the segment is to win it all. Question mark. Can they win it all, right? Where you guys are based right now, drop it in the chat where you guys are based right now. Where everyone that's coming into the live stream can see you guys, where you guys are based. Some new faces are popping in right now. I see some people coming in, coming out. Let them know where you're from. Drop it in the chat right now so they can kind of get an idea and see people are from all over the place. Dak Prescott, can he win the Super Bowl? That's a good freaking question. We will see this season, because if he doesn't win this season, they got some problems, because after that, who knows if they will keep him around. And here it is. Dak Prescott's contract and extension chances. Will they extend his contract? Will they give him another deal? Will they say, look, we're going to bring you back for a couple of years, because they have to draft their player, but they got Trey Lance, right? They brought in Trey Lance from San Francisco. That whole thing with Trey Lance was started. They had Jimmy G, and then behind there, obviously they had Brock Purdy, who now has made a name for himself, like Rudy, like he's out there doing his thing. Jimmy G went to the Raiders, is doing, whatever. Can't knock a guy. He's not doing what a lot of people want him to do. But at the end of the day, then you look at, Trey Lance. Is he going to be the future of the Dallas Cowboys? And will Dak Prescott be able to get a Super Bowl this year with a big-time contract and in conversation? That is where this leads to this. Jerry Jones is a big Dak Prescott fan. I mean, he just is. Like, he loves Dak Prescott. That's part of, what they need to win in his eyes. He likes him. He thinks he's a good person, if you want to say. And this is interesting because of Dak Prescott, his team, the camaraderie, all that, and then Jerry Jones is loyal to his quarterback. And I got to tell you, on one hand, you're like, I don't know. It's going to work, maybe. And the other hand, you're like, I got to appreciate what Jerry Jones is doing for Dak Prescott, because nowadays, trust and loyalty is out the door, right? Like, you show up, they love you. Next minute, we don't know, you're gone. You're like, whoa, why did I come here in the first place? And I can relate to that because as a running back, I got to Pittsburgh. Before I walked into the damn locker room, I had two different coaches already. One showed up at my house, talked to my mom, and said, hey, look, we can't wait to have Brandon on our roster. He got an opportunity to go back closer to his hometown, take a job. I get it. He was gone. They brought in somebody else. He was gone. And then people were like, okay, how many coaches can you go through before I even show up to the damn locker room? Like, I show up as a freshman in college football. I'm like, okay, this is different. Like my high school, I seen the same coach before I got there, showed up, he was still there, all these people. The camaraderie is so important to keep building. So what are the chances of him getting an extended contract? All depends on this season. If they win big this year, and if he gets to, just wild card games and he's gone, there's going to be a lot of concerns. If he gets to the playoffs, gets damn near close to the Super Bowl, maybe. If he wins the Super Bowl, he'll get another contract, that's for sure. But this year, Cowboys fans, I know the locker room wants it. They had some kind of issues in the locker room too with other players and stuff like that. At the end of the day, he's in the MVP conversation. I got to keep going back to that. He's in the MVP conversation. Jerry Jones loves him. Mike McCarthy supports him. That's big. And who they have at the running back position to help out, right? That's one thing I want to talk about right now. Ezekiel Elliott coming back to the roster is a big-time thing, an awesome opportunity, I think, for Dak Prescott. I kind of get the feeling, I don't want to say it out of context. I don't want to say it the wrong way for everybody listening, but I kind of get this Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, similar kind of feel, right? Like, I'm not talking about how great they are or which one's better. I'm just saying a little more mileage right now, right? Some injuries. Are you going to be up to that level? They're both good running backs. They both have power. The sick one have more. At the end of the day, you kind of get that feeling. Do we give you all this money because we believe that you are great? You're phenomenal. You can get it done. Or do we say, you get a little older, not old in life by any stretch, but old on the football field, a little bit more mileage, banged up, head injuries, knee injuries, ankle injuries, just getting hit on a daily basis at a running back position is a big deal. Right? So I'm just saying that's one thing we got to talk about. If you're in the chat right now, are you a Cowboys fan? Are you not a Cowboys fan? Drop your favorite team in the chat right now. I want to see who your favorite team is. Right now, drop it in the chat so we can see it. But the chance of getting a contract right now is completely depending on this season. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? It's kind of a no-brainer. What will they do this year? Can Dak Prescott win playoff games? Right? Yes, I said it correctly. Win playoff games. MVP conversation's great, but you get to the playoffs, that's a whole different story. Coaching comes into play. Now you got, which we're going to bring up, McCarthy. Was it his fault when they got to play the Packers? Did he have the wrong plan? Did they put together the wrong plan? And I got his picture here to pull up because Mike McCarthy is, quote unquote, their guy that they like. their coach that they believe in, right? They bring him in. Is he the correct candidate to get them through the playoffs, right? Because the playoff football is nowhere near the same as it is during the regular season. And I let people know, I harp on that because it's so important. And people are like, well, it's the same team. Yeah, these are the same teams when you get to the playoffs, but these teams turn it on. They turn it on. Coaches turn it on. You got to come together with a new game plan. You can't run the same plays you've been running all year. You got to switch it up. The film is different. All those playoff teams, wild card teams, they're tough because they have a chance. They're hard to beat, hard to take out. Once you get past the wild card, now it's these top teams here. They've been good all season, and they're better now. And they're getting some players back. Some have bye weeks. Some people are coming back after being rested. They show up. They're ready to ball. So at the end of the day, this has to be Dak Prescott's year. If they're going to win it all, this is the year. If they're going to go far in the playoffs, this is the year. Just breaking that down. And then let's go into this for a second. Dallas Cowboys impact players, right? I got a bunch of pictures here, and I had this picture the other day. They're impact players. Obviously, Dak Prescott, Ceedee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliot at the offense again. Here's what you're looking at for the Dallas Cowboys, which is pretty great. I like it. I like how they show up. I think this team can build together. They can mold. They can do great things. Obviously, we had a little situation here with Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb because of the family mentioning stuff on Twitter. Excuse me. We went through that, and that was a concern because you don't want anybody harping on your quarterback. I'm just saying. Like, the last thing you want to see is that because it causes turmoil in the locker room. A lot of things are going to be said, a little bit outlandish. Some things are said, and then, maybe it wasn't, what people had brought up. Maybe it's a little different. But at the end of the day, anytime there's a little bit of turmoil, there's a problem. And then we got Trevon Diggs, who's a beast out there, had some injuries. But, when you see him back in the lineup, we even got Trevon Diggs out there, one of the best out there on the defensive core. The DB's getting it done. And you cannot forget Mikah Parsons, beast, a guy that you want plays at an elite level. The Dallas Cowboys have a lot of players, man. They have a lot of players. And when I go through this whole thing, I'm looking at all these pictures, looking at all these ballers out here. They have a long list of impact players. Most teams, hey, got the quarterback, running back, got a linebacker. The Dallas Cowboys have everything. And I'm just saying right here, I do see one quick thing here. I see the bottom of the screen here. I'm not sure if anybody caught that. I'm going to fix it right now. Give me 1 second to do. I actually just noticed that I will confuse everyone if I don't fix this, because people are going to say, hey, wait a second. I thought it was freaking Friday. It is Friday. So let me fix that right now for you guys, because I actually did not hit the update button when I came on here live today. I apologize. I just fixed that. It will fix here in a second. Thank you. It should update right now. Bang. There we go. Just like that. So anyway, at the end of the day, they have a lot of impact players. I love what these guys are doing. I love what they're bringing to the table. And I can appreciate who they have around them. But if they don't win this season, then what's going on, right? Like, they have all the talent in the world. Several years it's been like this, where they have everybody. But what I want to talk about more than just the impact players, I want to go into a big piece of the pie right now. And that is right here. The Dallas Cowboys need big plays from the tight end position, and it's right here, Ferguson. And we've seen it. We've seen it last season where Ferguson stepped up, got it done, is doing, some great opportunities to make. Throw the dice in the chat right now. Let's get it live and shake it up. Throw the dice in the chat. I appreciate you guys. We got a lot going on. We got the fantasy football going on too with the Mason mob. But right now, look, Ferguson, this is a key component for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just telling you. And not just the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to break this down right now. I think it's so important. They need big-time gameplay from their tight end. And every single team now in the National Football League needs big plays from their tight end. This is just true. This is what you need. I know a lot of people, if you look at all the teams around the National Football League that win games, they have tight ends. George Kittle, 49ers, if you look at that right there, Travis Kelce, Chiefs in the Super Bowl, that gives you a complete understanding right there. They create mismatches. You got, linebackers that have to cover your tight end. Most tight ends can be covered by linebackers. You get to Travis Kelce, good luck. Then you get to George Kittle, physical, maybe a little bit slower, but gets it done. Ferguson is starting to climb that level. I'm not going to say he's elite right now, but he's the kind of player that you need on your offensive lineup to make plays, get you first downs, especially 3rd and 5. And he catches that little in route, little out route, little just stop route, just go 5 yards, turn on, catch it, boom, little hitch route. That is what it takes right now in the National Football League, because you got great receivers. They run different defensive schemes, cover 2, cover 3, man-to-man, roll. They run all these different defensive schemes that stop certain routes. But then you have H-backs, fullbacks that can get out there. They have to be covered by linebackers a lot of times and tight ends. This is a big part of the Dallas Cowboys roster. If this guy here has a big season, the Dallas Cowboys can go far. Mark my word. If this guy has a big season, the Dallas Cowboys can go far. And if it's not him, they need another tight end. And look around the National Football League. I promise you, look at all. And then you go back to the Patriots, right? You look how long Gronkowski was there. Then you go where he went to the Tampa Bay and Gronkowski was there. The tight end position is the weapon. I'm just telling you, they all have fast running backs. They all have quarterbacks. They all have, a decent offensive line, some better than others. Linebackers, they all hit hard. DBs are fast. How many of them have an exceptional elite tight end? That's where you're going to see games happen. That's where you're going to see wins come from, and that's where you see guys putting up big-time numbers. I'm just saying and breaking it down for you a little bit further. The tight end position is big. It's massive. And let's move forward here. Let's discuss this. The Dallas Cowboys, will they win the NFC East? Right? And look, obviously, we're talking about the Super Bowl. That's huge. But will they win the NFC East? That's big, right? Let's just dial on that and slow it down for a second. The Eagles, right? Then the Cowboys have the Giants, and then you have the Commanders. I freaking hate saying the Commanders. I've been saying that, and I probably shouldn't say it much more, to be completely honest with you. But to me, it's the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Redskins. With no political conversation at all. They're the teams, no problem. But we got to say Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. And I've been saying this for a while. Can we get some kind of conversation, some buzz going to bring it back to the Redskins? I mean, I'm just saying, I understand they're trying to be politically correct. They took Aunt Jemima off the damn syrup. Like, at the end of the day, it's a football team. They've been there for a long time. But at the end of the day, these are the 4 teams that we're looking at. In the chat right now, yes or no, can the Dallas Cowboys win this division? Can they beat the Eagles? The Giants and Commanders, I would imagine that they would beat the Giants and the Commanders. I mean, I hope that the Giants can build up, being from Jersey, growing up, living in New York. And the Commanders, can they beat, the Giants and the Commanders? I think that's an opportunity, right? Like, I think right there is okay. But I mean, when I look at the Eagles, I say, oh man, right? Like, the Eagles lost some players too. Losing your center. Let me break that down too. We're going to get in the Philadelphia Eagles, but losing your center, Jason Kelce, when you lose him, he's a big-time operating part of your offensive line. I know a lot of people will say, you got Saquon Barkley, you got Jalen Hurts. When you lose Jason Kelce, they got to replace him. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying that's going to be a concern, right? Like, that's going to be a concern. Can the Dallas Cowboys beat the Eagles? That's the question right now. If they can beat the Eagles, they got a clear shot into the playoffs, obviously, and have a chance to get to the Super Bowl. But they cannot be stopped by teams like the Packers, right? And that's where the question comes in. How does when Jerry Jones walked off the field, and this image here, thank you to Clutch Sports providing this image, the Dallas Cowboys, when they got beat by the Packers, they walked off the field, it was not good. Jerry Jones was like, what the is going on? Like, it just wasn't a good situation. But looking at these 4 teams here in the chat right now, how the hell are you guys feeling in the chat right now? Let's get it live here. Can we put the wheel in the chat? Say spin it in the chat. We need to get that freaking wheel spinning, right? Everybody that's in here, if it's your first time hanging out with us in live stream, you'll know what's going on. We start off early like this. We get the play-by-plays going during the games, and thousands of people start coming in here, and we start spinning the wheel. Brittany knows what time it is. All the Mason Mobsters, drop the wheel in the chat because we got to start spinning that damn wheel and giving out some money to all of our great people, part of the crew, part of the Mason Mob. But look, here you are. Here's a clear shot of the AT&T Stadium out there. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys have an excellent opportunity. And if they don't win this year, there's some issues. And let's open the gates and let's see what it looks like inside the stadium here, AT&T Stadium, doing it big out there. I'm just saying, if they don't get it done this year, then there's some big-time issues. There's some other questions that they have to answer to. But the main question right now is, will the Dallas Cowboys win the NFC East this season? And that is debatable, right? It's debatable. They have a chance. Will they? Maybe. I think the Eagles are going to be the first one. I got the schedule. I'm going to pull the schedule back up because that's where they can get punched in the mouth. I'm just saying. But the Browns, when they open up with the Browns, there's a picture there. The Browns are not going to be easy. I see them beating the Saints. The Ravens aren't going to be easy. I see them beating the Giants. And then you get to Pittsburgh, and that's going to be an eye-opener because the Pittsburgh Steelers can be good this season or they can be off. If they're good, they got a tough game. Then they got the Lions tough game. Then they got the Eagles tough game. Then they got the 49ers tough game. I mean, 4 in a row. They got the Falcons, then they got the Eagles again. So I'm just saying that's going to be a very tough situation to watch. I think the Dallas Cowboys have an excellent opportunity this year. They have every player you can imagine on the roster to win this season. I don't think that, look, if this is the chance, if they don't win this year, then there's a bigger problem. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're the best team in the National Football League, but they have every position filled to the potential to win, right? That's all I'm saying, breaking that down. And look, you guys are part of our program this morning. It is 10:30. Every single morning, we're going to be live giving you the updates. And just so you know, during the season, obviously, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday Night Football, we're live for the play-by-plays for the games. But here's why I like coming on at 10 in the morning. Sunday Night Football happens, and then Monday, we're live at 10 a.m. We come on, we break down all the things that happen, all the craziness. If there's fights, if there's people getting arrested, if there's problems, we got that too. But the coverage of what happened for NFL Sunday will be live Monday mornings every single week, which is great. Monday through Friday, 10 to 10:30. And then with guests, we're 10 to 11. So that's going to be great. We have guests coming on. We're going to have them come on interviewing bullshit with you guys, having a lot of fun, making sure some things are going. In the chat right now, throw the dice out there so I can see everybody that's in here right now. Oh, there goes my coffee again. Almost smashed that across the damn room. But saved by the big mug, the shit did not fall out. If I had that cheap-ass other mug in here, I won't say the name of the company because I feel bad saying it. If I had that cheap-ass other mug, if I hit it, bow, it would have spilled across my whole damn desk, which you guys can't see. I have an ESPN desk sitting in here and all this shit. When I got all these cameras lined up and the lights fixed, you guys can see the whole studio. You guys are going to love it. But I see you guys in here. Brittany, thank you. He is motivated in the building. LaFrance, Roger, let's go. Part of the Mason mob. Everybody in the chat right now, put Roger in the chat. Drop an R in the chat. Put Roger in the chat. Just join the Mason mob. We give a lot of, listen, we praise everybody that joins it. Uncle Roger, thank you. I appreciate you. This is going to be massive. When there's thousands of people in here, you're going to enjoy the play-by-plays live. You will see some awesome stuff. Put the R's in the chat right now. Put Roger in the chat right now. LaFrance, how you doing? How are you doing? Welcome back. Brian, thank you for tuning in every single day. Candy, thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you. You know that. Pitbull Mama, greatly appreciate you. You guys make all this happen, and we cannot wait to get this rocking and rolling and understand what's going on. It's every freaking day, Monday through Friday, 10 to 10:30. And then we have guests on the show. We're 10 to 11, NFL players, NBA players, UFC fighters coming on the show, scheduling those right now. And some big-time deals. We're working on with sponsor deals. We got alcoholic beverages. We got sports betting applications. You guys are going to be able to jump on if you're part of the Mason Mob, and you guys go in. You guys get free money, which is crazy. They'll give you guys free money to sign up. You can start betting using their money, which is nuts. And I'm going to give out some bets, some things that I'm doing. I'm going to post them on here. Annie, I appreciate you. We're going to post my bets on here live so you can see what's going on. If I'm betting, I'm not going to say, hey, bet on this. And then you guys bet, lose. I'm saying, look, I bet it too. Like, I went for it all. So I just want to say more than anything, I greatly appreciate you guys as we grow and continue to build this platform. You're going to see so many cool things happening, and it's going to be very, very exciting. As you saw during the freaking NBA season, Tracy, so glad to have you here. As you saw during the NBA season when we started up and there was 50 people in here and it turned into 2,000, 3,000 people at a time. We had, just so you guys know, we hit a record on the platform. We had 116,000 people view in 3 hours. 116,000 people in 3 hours. And the sports betting people saw that and were like, oh shit, okay, we see where this is going. Not that it's there completely yet, but we see what's happening. And when they start sponsoring the deal and bringing people on, they bring people on and we start working together, there's some awesome opportunities. We got Venus and Serena's tennis coach wants to come on the platform. I mean, I can give you so many people that want to come on, but reaching out to us. It's going to be awesome. And I want you guys, more importantly, to be able to call in. We have a number that pops up on the bottom of the screen. When I do that, you guys can call in. We have a phone section here that we click on it. And when we do, we can actually communicate with you guys live and have some fun. So I greatly appreciate that. Everybody in here that if I haven't mentioned you, I greatly appreciate you. The Mason Mob.
Make some noise!
Got a lot of awesome people that were hanging out with us during the NBA season. I said, I don't cover the NBA as much. Let's do it. We go live for the freaking NBA and the finals and also for the playoffs. And it was like, holy shit, there's a lot of people that like basketball. And we had it going on. If you haven't seen it, go back and take a look at it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you guys start getting your own emojis in here. Pitbull, mama, you know you got your peach out there. Drop the peach in the chat. And let's see some hearts in the chat for all the beautiful girls that hang out with us during the NFL season, during the NBA season. Like, they could be doing all kind of stuff, doing their makeup, doing their hair, hanging out with their girlfriends, sipping tea, doing all this kind of stuff. But we got them hanging out with us. Kenyatta's back in the house. I appreciate you. Drop the peaches in there. Drop the hearts in there, because let me tell you something. You guys didn't realize this. We had 35% women watching our NBA playoffs, and at one point it was like 4%. It was 4% of women watching. All of a sudden it went to like 35 or 45, whatever it was, some crazy number of women hanging out with us, watching the games. And I'm like, holy shit, like there's a lot of women in here. And it was great because they got a chance to learn a little bit too. Some of them knew more than the men, not gonna lie. Some of the women that were hanging out with us were like, I know exactly what's going on. And I was like, okay, she knows more than some of the guys in here. So there's some concerns right now. So I was excited about that, to see the growth and the potential and opportunity that we have to build. And trust me when I tell you, this channel, this show, this segment you're seeing right now, this will grow to maximum levels. I just can't make the announcements right now with the agencies until deals are done. But there's going to be some amazing opportunities, giveaways, live talk. You guys on the platform right now will have a voice. You'll communicate. LaFrance, we got to get you in the Mason Mob too. We got to get you in the freaking Mason Mob. Once we get you guys on here to communicate, you literally will be able to click on the button, boom, and you guys can talk. I press the button here. We can hear you guys talking because you're in the Mason Mob at any given time during the platform. And then with the live guests on the show, you'll be able to do that. And we almost have it done where I can click on the button and we can see your message on the screen, which I've showed you a few times right here. And then I can click on it, bang, whatever you just said pops up right there. We almost have it done. We have a lot of equipment upgrades and things. So I'm giving you guys all this announcement. A lot of people wouldn't do that and explain. I'm giving you behind the scenes so you guys know what's going on. Whatever you guys say, I click on it on my screen, bang, it pops up right there. Your picture will pop up there so you are more interactive with what we're doing. If you have a question, if you say, will this happen? I put it in the chat and everyone can communicate with what you just said. So I can appreciate that. I'm looking forward to that. If you're in the live stream right now, everybody smack the like button right now. If you did already, leave it go. If you did not, hit that like button right now, because we're doing big things. We're growing. We're building way beyond levels. I promise you that. We had a lot of conversation today, and the question was, will Dak Prescott get a Super Bowl? Can the Cowboys take it there? There is a lot of questions circling around the locker room. Can they do it? This is the year, if they're going to, for Dak Prescott to put some W's in the win column, not just a regular season winner, but a Super Bowl winner. This is his chance. Will he do it? We'll see about that. I'm going to close the polls here on the side so we can see that. Thanks to Pitbull Mama. She reminded me last time. She said, hey, Brandon, you got to close the poll. And there it is right there. Just pops up. A lot of people are saying Dak Prescott will not get the Super Bowl. We will find out soon. All I can tell you is I greatly appreciate you guys. It is Friday. We're heading into the weekend. If you have social media, Brandon Mason Show, go on Instagram right now. Follow me. I'll follow you back. I started to do that this morning, looking around. I will communicate with you guys in direct message if you're in the Mason Mob. And also, more importantly, I'm going to be posting back on Instagram, social media, Twitter, TikTok, all that, all the shorts. So like 15-second to 45-second quick messages of what's going on. It'll start off something like, is Dak Prescott going to win a Super Bowl? Here's why he can. Here's why he can't. And then go through a whole list real quick, a 45-second spiel. That'll be on Instagram. That'll be all through social media. And all these big-time sports betting platforms want us to give our picks. We're going to do that. So I just want to tell you, I greatly appreciate every single one of you coming in here. We're going to grow every single week. Before you know it, you're going to look down. There's going to be 100 people watching, 200 people watching. And during the play-by-plays, thousands of people watching. And I'm going to give you that schedule so you guys can see who we're live with. I greatly appreciate you guys. I'll pull up again. It is Friday, July 12th. Enjoy your day heading into the weekend. And remember, 9:55 on Monday morning. Don't show up at 10. 9:55 so I can communicate with you guys here right in the live stream before it goes to the countdown. Because once the countdown starts, I got to focus on all this shit over here. Equipment, new people we're bringing on to help out with the show. So at 9:55 Eastern Standard Time, if you guys jump in here in the morning, I can communicate with you bright and early. Right now, guys, throw the dice in the chat. I'm getting ready to sign off. Throw the dice in the chat right now. I greatly appreciate you. I'm going to give you some sports betting tips. It's going to be a lot of fun. As I get ready to sign off, I'll see all of you drop that in there. Without you guys, this would not be possible. I greatly appreciate what you guys do and what you bring to the table. Get ready for the guests. Get ready for the games. Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football every single week. Live play-by-plays and the morning show every day at 10 a.m. Look forward to seeing you guys 9:55 on Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend.